so the bill was passed. There was a last minute vote-a-rama. So with these reconciliation bills, they have a process that takes all day, and people can propose and vote on amendments and add and retract things. So Senator Thune and Senator Sinema added a private equity giveaway that was apparently so egregious that Larry Summers felt the need to tweet about it.
Larry Summers, not exactly friend of the working man.
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes, I am pretty cynical and hardly anti business in general or private equity in particular, but I'm appalled by the end stages of the Senate bill's passage. There is no legitimate public policy argument for the maintenance of carried interest or Senator John Thune slash Cinema's private equity carve out from the bill. It makes me despair of the general interest above the special interest. For the rest of 2022, any private equity leaders purporting to speak about how private equity is or should be socially responsible should be asked what their firm has done directly or indirectly to support the loopholes here. Even more important in dollar terms is the successes of corporate lobbyists in maintaining favorable treatment for tax havens in the Caribbean and every continent by gutting the enabling legislation for U.S. Treasury Secretary Yellen's international tax agreement. All right. You know your corporate giveaway when Larry Summers is upset about you. When Larry Summers thinks that it's too favorable to the uber wealthy.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, that's how epically egregious it was. So it'll be really interesting to find out once Senator Sinema decides not to run again, which seems very likely, where she ends up, and we can actually find out who paid for all
Right.
it.
Where she's a lobbyist.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That would
And
be a good bingo game.
yeah, and we'll kind of know. We'll have a good sort of. It'll be like a good price signal, as they say in economics. We'll know what senators cost these days. With inflation, it's hard to keep up.
Well, let's go to another. Wow, I can't believe how bad this bill is when this person is slamming it. Let's go to our next clip, which is from MSNBC. This is from Stephanie Ruhle, who, by the way, worked in hedge fund sales and who's someone we've gone after on the show because she's very anti-Bernie. And she, just to remind people, was upset when Joe Biden said that this race was going to be Scranton versus Park Avenue. And she was upset that he said that, which was so clearly just a pandering line. Like
Right.
he said behind closed doors, which is where you say the things that are true, then nothing would fundamentally change. But she was just offended that he would even pander to people. She's like, don't you want my vote? Because guess what? I live pretty close to Park Avenue. You know
I'm
who
on,
lives pretty close
I'm
to Park
on
Avenue? This
73rd.
guy.
Yeah.
It was so amazing. So that's how out of touch she is. And let's watch what she says.
This idea that we didn't know, Kirsten Sinema, she wasn't showing her hand. She was. We knew exactly where her hand was, in the pocket of private equity giants. I have to make this point. The fact that the carried interest loophole has been removed from this, that they're not closing it, is such a stain on this huge achievement for Democrats, because keeping that loophole in our tax code is truly a giveaway for the richest of the rich. And the fact that Kirsten Sinema was so insistent on doing it really is a bad look, because it serves absolutely no one in the state of Arizona. And besides people across the country celebrating, who need help, working families who need help, they'll be thrilled to see this passed. The only people who were celebrating carried interest last night were private equity billionaires on mega yachts in the Mediterranean. It's crazy. And you can talk to people on both sides of the aisle who are saying, I cannot believe this happened again.
It is insane, Steph. The system is rigged for them. Warren Buffett's been saying it for at least a decade, that this allows some of the richest people in America who make money by pushing paper, who are wiring numbers, they will pay a lower income tax rate than their clerical workers, secretaries, other people. It is really outrageous. Stephanie Ruhle, thank you so much.
Wow, what is happening? What
Yeah.
twilight zone have we entered into?
This is a big moment for me personally. Maybe I should just confess this on the show. That's the first 120 seconds of Morning Joe that I don't disagree with at all. Not
Yeah,
not even one phrase of it.
that feels very weird.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
really sure. I feel like there's some ulterior motive going on that I can't
Yeah.
can't quite put my finger on.
It's so crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, to be fair, maybe this is just so that they condemn this, but then they embrace other things that aren't quite as overtly evil. So now, and we're helping rehabilitate them.
Right.
So
Right.
don't, guys, we're not doing that.
This is their token good thing to
Yeah,
say.
this they're so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still on notice. They're still on the shit list. Again, we're not pointing out how good they are. We're pointing out how bad the bill is.